it's Angie Campbell again, and today I wanted to talk to you about something that I watched on TV quite recently that I feel that has been confusing people for a long, long time. We're constantly being bombarded with more and more research about what food is good for us and what food is bad for us, and we've been having this and actually, well, this is now not good for you, but actually this one is now good for you. So unbelievably confusing. I'm quite sure that you agree. In the past few years, I've really started to research nutrition really deeply, and I've done a couple of nutrition diplomas in the past 2.5 years. But it's something that has been in our family. I mean, we've always been healthy eaters. My mum and dad were really, really big on what was good for you and what was not good for you, and at the forefront of new things coming from all corners of the globe that were health food products. And my father was one of the first people to get involved and work at his friend's vegetarian restaurant, and that was I think 1974. And he'd been a vegetarian actually since he was 16, so he was always at the forefront of health food. I just find that it's so confusing that you get one piece of research and then 2 minutes later, okay, maybe not 2 minutes later, but then they tell you that something's not good. Especially things like, well, take for example coffee. That's been kind of on and off for years, and red wine, and then there's now the problem with sugar and how that's making us put weight on more so now than the big saturated fat blunder that has been around for the past 30 or 40 years with all the low fat era that I grew up with in the 80s. And because they extracted all the fat from things, well, take a yogurt for example, they had to put something in to make it taste better, and that was either sugar, or if it was a diet one it would be sweetener, which, you know, when you think of it, it just meant that people were adding more and more stuff to the food that we're eating. And then lots of hormones in the food chain as well, if you're eating meat and factory farming and all the rest of it. And it's no wonder that people are confused. The reason I'm talking to you about this today is because I've always felt that the simpler the food, the better. And I think that's something that we should all follow. But more important than that, I think you should just trust yourself. You know when you eat something if it doesn't agree with you. And that might not be long term. I mean, for me, I can't drink milk. I haven't been able to drink a glass of milk without having serious heartburn for a good 15 years now. But when I was a teenager, it was never a problem. And it's just the way that our bodies are, and our bodies change over time. So only you can really tell what food is right for you and what isn't. And as long as we follow the general guidelines, and I know it sounds boring, but everything in moderation, and trust your gut, and well, definitely trust your gut, and you trust your intuition as well, but you trust your gut and see, oh, how do I feel with that, then I think that's much more important than getting confused with all this advice that's been bombarded to us left, right and centre. Having said that, there's things that I'll continue eating, and I'll continue not eating from a moral point of view, from a chemical point of view, and additives, processed stuff and things like that. So the simpler the food, if it's whole food, as opposed to a processed form of it. So for example, eating an apple as opposed to buying a bottle of apple juice in the supermarket, you're getting the fibre from the apple. So it's really weighing up, okay, what does this have and what does this not have? But at the end of the day, do you enjoy it? Do you love it? How does it make you feel? I mean, I love pizza, but it makes me feel like crap. So I might have a slice once in a blue moon, but I know I'm not going to feel very good after it. So you really need to trust your judgment, and you really need to trust your intuition. And at the end of the day, don't stress about it. Because for me, that is one of the biggest, if not the biggest problem for our health, is not what we're actually putting in our mouth, but the fact that we're actually stressing to the max about it. So follow your heart, trust your instinct, Eat what's right for you. Follow general guidelines about natural, unprocessed, whole foods, and try and get as much of them into your diet as you can. Your veggies and lots of water and nice fruit, especially things that are quite low sugar fruit like berries, for example, are fantastic and really, really great for us. But then you might, having said that, you might be one of the people that are actually allergic to it. So at the end of the day, you do what's right for you. It's been, for me, a confusing 20, 30 years. And I've always been concerned about what I should be eating and what I shouldn't be eating. And see, to be honest, once you actually start to relax about it and tune in to what your body really wants, then it makes 100% of a difference. So you do what's right for you. Okay? So thank you once again for listening to my ramblings. See you soon.